Hi, and welcome back to Leap Telecom. And today we're going to do something a little bit different, and that we're not going to really use the hosted PBX features. We're going to use a couple of them, but we're going to be setting up a SIP trunk. And a SIP trunk is for people who have a phone system in their office on premises that can support SIP trunks. So instead of plugging in phone lines to it, they can connect over the internet to our service to get their dial tone. Now, this is typically software-based phone systems like 3CX, Free PBX, Asterisk, but there's also many commercial products out there that now support SIP trunks, so it's very, very common. Now, there's a few things that you need to know to make sure that this all works right. First, you need the name of your instance. So this is going to be right here where your phone system is going to try and connect to. So that's going to be an important one to take note of for down the road. But first, we need to start with the basics, and we need a phone number. So I'm going to come over here to phone numbers, and we'll just add a phone number, and this will be Widget Factory, will be our main number, and we'll just go ahead and hit next. Oh, we got to have a caller ID. Where should we route it? Well, we're not going to route it anywhere yet, so we're going to leave that one for later. The number is going to be a domestic number. It's going to be in the United States, and it's going to be in Colorado. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit next. And now I can see a list of available phone numbers that are here. And I'm just going to grab a phone number and hit next. Everything looks good. Okay, I'm going to hit next. And hit done. Great. So now we have a phone number that's going to come in, but it's not going to do anything yet. So that's where we need to set up our SIP trunk. So I'll come over here to our SIP trunks. I'll hit plus, and the name of our SIP trunk, this will be Widget Factory SIP. We'll just do it something like that, and we'll give it a password. That'll be our login. It auto-generated a strong password, so we're good there. How many lines? How many lines are going to be going into that we're going to allow? And I think I'm going to allow 6 channels going into that, not 66, 6. And the timeout. What timeout? How long should it try to send a call there before it fails over? Now, I typically want this to be fairly short because once the phone system grabs it and starts processing it on their end, then we don't really need to worry about it on this end. We just want to give it a good effort. So I'm just going to give it like 20 seconds. Comfort noise. So sometimes a phone system wants comfort noise, sometimes it doesn't. And it's just kind of this background noise that phone systems have. So when you're on the phone, you know that the phone line is active, versus when it's off, there's just nothing. So sometimes you want it to come from us. Sometimes your phone system does it, so we have the option to disable that. Okay, where should it go if it can't go through? Well, I'm just going to send it to my cell phone, just in case. Just in case something happens, I'll have it set to my cell phone. Okay, our caller ID name, we'll call this Widget Factory, and don't need the caller ID number. The access control list. Now, this is the IP address that the phone system, your phone system, is coming from, so that we can control who has access to this SIP trunk. Now, I'm just going to leave it in the default for now, but this will not allow anybody to access it. So if you don't know your public IP address, then you need to talk to your network people, your computer guy, and get that so that can be set up properly. Now, contact IP, Usually this is left blank. Not very many systems require a contact IP. So if it does, you'll need that. But for most part, you're going to leave that blank. And the location, this is going to be the location that it needs to connect to right there. As I pointed out before, it's also on the main page. But we're going to have that go right here. So we're going to save that. Okay, so now that we've got that SIP trunk set up, now we can go back to our phone number, and I'm going to edit the phone number here. And where is this going to go? And it's going to go to our Widget Factory SIP trunk. Hit save. And now any inbound calls, let's bring those up, the phone number and our SIP trunks. So any inbound number to this number here is going to go to the Widget Factory SIP, which is all defined down here. So now you can go on your PBX side and configure it to access this. Now, I don't have a bunch of videos on setting up every type of phone system because I'd have to have access to a bunch of them, but it's pretty straightforward in most cases. You're going to have the IP or the host name that it needs to connect to, the login, the password. That's usually pretty much it to get a SIP trunk set up on a PBX. Then you can come over here, and if this registration status is green, then you know everything is working. So that's how you set up a SIP trunk in our Cadence PBX platform. Hope you enjoyed that and hope this was useful for you. If you have any questions, be sure and contact us. Thanks for watching all these videos. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.